are not going to be live coaching. I wanted to give a quick hello, but I do not have time. I do not have my computer. I'm at the hospital in Germany, and my wife just gave birth to our third child. So I will not be able to do a full live stream today for obvious reasons, but everything that was posted in the Facebook group, I will go through next week, Sunday. So if you posted a question, comment, photo, video, don't worry, I'll get to it next week, Sunday. And if you have not posted a question, comment, video, concern, all of the above, post something in the group, make a post, ask a question. I'm sure there's something that you're curious about, concerned about. Maybe it's an opinion that you have that other people don't have. Maybe you feel like foot straps are a mistake, or harnesses are a mistake, or I don't know, something. I want to hear it. I want to hear your controversial opinions, or if you have a question that you've been dying to ask, but you've been embarrassed to ask. There's even a function in the Facebook group that you can ask questions anonymously. So if there's a question that you're so embarrassed you don't want to ask it with your real name, you can do so anonymously. The Facebook group is such a wonderful place for asking questions and comments and celebrations. It's one of my favorite, or it is my favorite. It is my favorite windsurfing community. I love it. There's so much helpfulness and so much knowledge and stoke. I love the shared stoke, and there's no negativity like you see in some of these other groups. So I love our community. So take good use of it, make use of it, get the most out of it. If you are watching this, or maybe you have a friend who wants to as well. I don't have my computer. I've just got my phone. Like I said, I'm at the hospital. We just had a baby. So I don't remember everything that was posted, but I do read everything that was posted. And one of the subjects was a continuation from what we were talking about last week. And it was a post from Matt about how to set up his board. And we will go over this in more detail next week, Sunday. But I just wanted to freestyle on this just for a minute before I say goodbye. And people in the comments were talking about board leaders and how much leaders you need. And I think that this is an interesting question and a complicated one. There is a point of diminishing return. So once you get over, let's say it's 15 liters over your weight. So that means if you weigh 80 kilos, once you start getting over 95 liters, there is a point of diminishing return in what that volume is going to give you when you're trying to sail in lighter winds. But that doesn't mean that the volume is worthless. So more volume board, a bigger board, is going to be easier to stand on, is going to be easier to uphaul. And so once you actually get going, you might not notice a difference, but you might notice some differences for some of the peripheral elements. Especially if you like riding slightly bigger sails, you might find that having the bigger board is helpful for getting that going. But that said, you know, getting going is not very scientific. And I think that what I mean by diminishing returns is that, you know, if you're 80 kilos, the 95 liter board and the 105 liter board are going to give you pretty similar experiences in terms of getting going. And then the 95 will probably feel better on the wave. So the 105, maybe it's not worth it. But again, it all depends on your sailing style, what you're used to, where that volume is distributed. So if you're used to standing farther back on the board, then you're going to need something with more volume. And that might be something that you get if by going bigger and bigger on the volume. So another way of saying that is that if you don't want to go too big, then you adjust how you're standing on the board, where you're putting pressure on the board, making sure that you're not getting in the straps quickly, making sure you've got your front foot by the mast, the back foot between the straps until you really get planing, or not at all. Like some of my favorite boards, and I ride boards that are small for my weight, right? Like I'm 88 kilos, 90 kilos sometimes. And my favorite board is an 88 liter board. It's less than my weight, and I ride that in light wind conditions. I even have 82, 84 liter boards that I love. But the 88, I can ride on almost anything. And it's a dance with my feet, right? I'm almost never in that back foot strap, because if I were to put that weight back, I'd sink the tail and the board wouldn't work. And so if you really want to ride smaller boards, then that's a dance you need to learn. If you really don't want to learn that dance, then you need to ride bigger boards. And that is a trade-off, and it's fine. There's a lot of people that really make do with bigger boards. I also think the lighter you are, so this is something I've seen on the Pro Tour, the lighter you are, the more volume above your weight you can handle. So guys that are my size, let's say 85 or 88 kilos and up, are riding boards that are around their weight, plus 5 liters, maybe plus 10 liters, not that much bigger though. And guys that are like say 60 kilos, like Thomas Traversa can ride an 80 liter board. That's 20 liters over his weight. I mean, that's, as a percentage, is huge. That's a third bigger than how much he weighs, right? But somehow that seems to work. I don't have an answer for why that is. And one more comment I'm going to make about the boards, and then again, next week we're going to get into this really in depth along with everything else that was posted. Fins make a huge difference. Big fins help you get going. And so I have a bag of fins I travel with. And if I'm sailing somewhere that's light or there's current or I need to get going, I'm going to put in a bigger rear fin. And I might be increasing my rear fin by a centimeter, but I'm a pro. You might want to increase yours by 3-4 centimeters, and then you'll really feel the difference, right? So having a bigger rear fin is going to make a huge difference. I'm just going to say a quick hello to the chat. We got Jorg, thank you Jorg, and G-Luke and Max. Hattis asks if I game. I'm not sure what that means. I like playing games, but I don't know what you mean by do you game. I like games. Harold in the chat and Greg in the chat as well. Like I said, we just had our baby, so I'm not doing my normal Sunday live stream, but I will see you all next week Sunday. Make sure you post in the group. I'm going to get back to my kids. Kids are with their aunt. I'm going to get back to them, and then we're going to go to bed and visit the new baby tomorrow. Baby and mom getting some sleep. All right, I'll see you all next week Sunday, but I'll see you before then in the Facebook group. So post in the group. I'm reading everything that's posted, and I'm going to be more active over the next little bit because I'm stuck in Germany and I'm not going to be able to get on the water because I've got a little baby to take care of. So I'm going to be a keyboard warrior in the Facebook group. Also, if you want reactions or if there's something specific you want from me, so it doesn't have to be coaching or whatnot relevant to your situation, it might be, hey, what's your opinion on this event? What's your opinion on this video? And I'm really happy to go through that. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I will see you next week, Sunday. Have a good one.